Ciao! We are in Civitavecchia, in Via Montegrappa, and we're just about to take a street art tour with contemporary artist Liam Becher. That is trying, with his art, to make this street very beautiful. Are you ready? Andiamo.
We start from here, and this is basically the beginning of this project we had a few years ago that included the renovation of the Via Montegrappa, of the street, through street art. And this is a piece of a local artist, Nicolas, which represents basically the famous painting from Raffaello, La Muta, in a way that wants to remind us the period we lived in for a couple of years, as you can see. It's basically a representation also of the ancient art was here in Civitavecchia, because we also have, they say, some rooms. They contain affrescos from Raffaello or from the school of Raffaello, so it's connected.
Let's continue now with the second piece, and this second piece is actually your own piece.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
It's part of the same project that keeps going into the way, and this is actually a project we decided to dedicate to music, because it's a really important thing we do here as well. Montegrappa is also a place for youth to gather together.
It's a social place.
Yeah, it's a social place,
Okay.
and it's full of cultural events and music also, because of the pubs that they're very active in the way they do jam sessions, jazz concert. And
So there is a lot of music.
yes, and I'm also really close to jazz music, so I decided to dedicate these murals to jazz musicians. We can see here Billie Holiday.
Sorry,
Billie Holiday, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Great Billie Holiday. And if we keep going, then we can meet other great jazz musicians.
Okay, let's go. Dai, andiamo. Who's the next one? And who's this? I'm sorry, but I'm very ignorant about jazz music. Tell us about
the
it.
next one we meet is one of my personal favorites ever from jazz history, and it's John Coltrane.
Okay, I love Supreme.
I Love Supreme, yes, it's a great album from jazz history. And it's, I'm very close to him because he was close to me in very hard periods of my life, and listening to his music was really helpful.
Spiritual.
Healing. Yeah,
sometimes.
spiritual jazz.
Yeah. And what's this shop that you painted the shutters?
These are basically storages from people that works here at the market, and they gave us permission to paint really easily.
Bene. Are there any more?
Yes, we can encounter 1, 2, 3 more.
Shall we carry on?
Yes.
Andiamo,
yes, let's
dai. Liam, not only paintings in Via Montegrappa, but even, what do you call this? An installation, the sign of a shop.
Yes, I'm very proud also of this, because I'm really close also to this place particularly, that hosts the jazz concerts and many events, as the others do. And this is basically a sign. It's handmade, as the name says. It's called Recycle, and all made by pieces of the place, actually.
Okay.
Put together and with some beautiful letters and
Very nice.
the tops of the bottles. This is one of my palettes.
Tavolozza. Palette.
The sticks of the drums,
Uh-huh.
the keys of the guitar, the games we play here inside.
Dominos.
Yeah.
And Scrabble. It's a good cut and paste
Yes,
of
yes.
different pieces of life. Very nice. Okay, let's continue. This one I know. This is Charlie Chaplin.
Of course, you know, yeah. This is Charlie Chaplin playing the violin.
He's a musician.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a musician in this contest, basically.
Okay.
We also managed to fuse theater and music in some way. It was nice to me, so I did it like this. And he's a great character of the movies and also generic culture, and it's always beautiful because people loves him, you know. And he has also an important sentence, a quote to accompany him, which I decided to write, and it says, should I translate it?
Sure.
It says, we need the power only when we want to do something harmful, damaging. Otherwise, love is sufficient to do all the rest.
It's a beautiful message.
Yeah, it's a beautiful message.
And I think, especially in this historical period, we need desperately
I think always,
nice messages.
I think always, yes. And I think also this is why we need street art as well, because it's capable to send strong messages.
Bene, let's continue, and then I have a couple of questions for you.
Yes, okay.
Andiamo. Liam, and who's this guy?
This is Bill Evans, another great jazz player, also one of my favorites. He's playing the piano under the moonshine. I really like this. And it's part of the same project we were talking about, and keeping the tour going, there's also Miles Davis here next to us. We have projects now that are gonna bring more street art in Civitavecchia. So hopefully.
Okay, just spark in my mind a question. As we are talking about tourism and you're talking about art, how do you think art can influence contemporary tourism, if so?
So basically it's something that took place in the last years with the growth of street art in countries like Italy as well. That was a bit slower than the rest of the world, and in Civitavecchia is slower than the rest of Italy, but we're trying to do our best, and it's not always that easy. But to answer your question, many places in Italy, little towns, they had a rebirth. They took life again because of street art. We have Sant'Angelo not far from here that became the
city
town.
of fairy tale.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because of street art that brought tourism into the towns, that brought, of course, new economy into the town for the locals. And this is, I think, great it's a great use of what we're trying to do. It's not the only one, of course, but if it can bring new people, new artists from outside, and it's always beautiful from the point of view of a tourist to see big walls painted and a colorful city.
So potentially Civitavecchia could become, any cities could become transformed thanks to artists like you, and also an attention to art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's also potentially an exchange to bring the attention also to who can financiate these projects, you know. Because if they see potential and then they want to help us, it's a great use.
Okay, so let's send a message to private investors, anybody who has a shop, anybody who is an art lover and has the financial possibilities, because we tend to forget that art always needs peace and money, unfortunately. So, if there are any private investors that would like to transform their building, or to transform their door or their shop, definitely get in touch with us, get in touch with Liam, and you can spark a new project and be part of this little artistic revolution. Now, let's finish with the best, Miles Davis. Andiamo. And last but not least, Miles Davis.
Yes, not a great jazz musician, what to say. He's playing the trumpet in a very classic portrait of him. It's a famous picture, and it says, "The true music is the silence it's a really famous quote from him, and it caught also my ears somehow. And I tell you shortly about the technique I use,
Sure.
which is not the common spray paint, but not everything, of course. But I do it with brushes, with the same paint that is inside the spray cans. Basically, it's water-based. It's different, but it's with brushes.
I would like to thank you very much for everything that you do here in Civitavecchia and for your time. Now I have a last question. The perfect word. In future projects, what's your wildest dream?
Well, basically, it's always the same since a while, and it's to go around the world and paint murals, big murals. Speaking about Civitavecchia particularly because I really care about art here. It's also to paint big murals here. We have a few, but we have a lot of blind faces of the wall, buildings that can be painted for the people that lives here. And so this is my aim now at the moment. I'm based here, I'm trying to stay here and not to go around too much, and trying to paint a lot of stuff.
Bene, so we wish you all the best. And if grazie a te, grazie mille. One quick reminder for everybody, because most of the Italians forget, but in the Renaissance times, artists like you, when Raphael went to Rome, he was only 25 years old.
Yes, yes.
So that means that back in those days, there was an environment pushed to people to shine and artists to shine, see? While today, unfortunately, a 25 years old artist here in Italy, unfortunately, doesn't have a very easy life. Am I right?
Yes, yes, of course, it's a different time. I mean, it's we should open a new chapter of the conversation, but I would say that it's not easy to become a great artist, you know, but I think it was never easy because to do something great you need to put a lot of effort. It's not coming out like this. And of course talent is something that you can have inside, but must be also hard work.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course.